Hi everyone, Jules Poulin here from the business RMT, and I'm sitting with Kristine Beese from Untangle Money, and she's going to be talking a little bit about financial planning for RMTs. Hi Kristine, how are you?
Hi, Julie. I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Great, thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm happy to be here. RMTs have a really big spot in my heart. I used to be a national level athlete, and it was my RMT who kept me operational back then, and it's my RMTs now who keep me out of pain. So really happy you guys exist.
Yay.
And happy to help. Yeah.
Great. So tell us a little bit about how you think that this is going to be just like a 10-minute type of snippet thing for a team. Is the purpose of this.
Yeah.
So Kristine, tell me a little bit about how you think you could help massage therapists with their financial planning.
Right. Well, let me tell you a little bit about my background. I'm Kristine, and I'm the founder of Untangle Money. I have a background in finance and engineering. So I've priced stocks for a large Canadian bank in the past, and I've also been involved in creating value investment portfolios for a wealth management firm. So I have some experience in the industry. At Untangle Money, we really help people build strong mental models of their money. So we take your take-home money, and we make a budget, a high-level budget, and then we project that into the future. And then we can make changes in real time. And this allows you to understand the trade-offs you're willing to make today for future gain and vice versa. And we have a focus on women, partially because of my lived experience. I think there's a need, and partially because conventional wisdom is more likely to fail women. This is because men and women actually have very different financial lives, and the finance industry treats us the same. We can help both men and women, having said that, though. But I think personal finance is really important for everyone to have a foundation in. So whether this is a refresher or whether this is the first time you're hearing this stuff, I want to talk about how inflation affects your spending, how inflation affects your savings. I want to talk about how you figure out how much you're going to need for retirement. Really important for an RMT, especially the self-employed, because you're likely not going to be in a corporate pension plan. So you're going to be the sole person responsible for funding your retirement. We're going to look at tax advantaged accounts like tax-free savings account, RRSPs, how to use them well, when you should prioritize one over the other. And then in Canada, we're actually pretty lucky. We have a lot of great free resources, but it can be really hard to know where to look. So I think that we can talk about that as well. But it'll just be a nice sort of, you can come here and get it all in one shot without having to go anywhere else.
That's amazing. Such a necessary service for us independent contractors and RMTs. And yes. I'm so personally, I am so excited for this workshop because it is a little intimidating. I know how to help people. I know anatomy. I know how to help people. But my personal finances and my business finances can use a little assistance. So I'm super, super stoked for this workshop.
You are not alone. I worked in the finance industry, and I still found personal finance really hard when I decided to take a look at my own personal finances. There's the theory, and then there's the practical application of it, and they're not the same. And I think sometimes we make it too hard. So we sort of want to focus on what's the most important thing, and that can really help. And then one thing I didn't mention is Canada has one of the highest levels of indebtedness of any country in the world. So we're very in debt in Canada, and partially because of that, partially just because money creates financial anxiety. Canadians have really high levels of financial anxiety. And it's incredible. Studies show that just having a plan can reduce that anxiety. So when you run your own business, when you're an RMT and you're an independent contractor, all of the money decisions come to you. I know you need to decide how much to pay yourself if you pay yourself that way. And it can be really tricky to know what the pros and cons are straight out of the bat. So hopefully we can help with some of those things.
It sounds like you really can help massage therapists guide their finances and make it achievable.
Yeah.
I feel
So
like what I'm hearing from you is that you really want to make personal financial management achievable for people in general, but with this particular workshop and inclined to massage therapists who the industry is mostly women as well. So I think that
yeah.
this is really
Yeah.
it.
I think it's like, I think one of the best things you can do about money in general is know where you are, know where you're going, know where to start, and how you're going to get there. And we really don't believe in judging how anybody spends money. There's this awesome trend in finance right now. It's called the Golden Girls Retirement Plan.
I love it.
And it's a bunch of women
Yeah.
getting together and retiring together. So they pool their resources to get accommodations, because that's the main cost of living when you're older. You get a social network, there's someone there if something goes wrong. And for those who haven't had wives before, you get someone to help you with the cleaning and cooking. So it can be, it's really trendy, and women are the largest growing population in poverty as they go through retirement. So the longer you live, the more likely as a woman you're going to enter retirement, which is why we really focus on retirement.
Mm-hmm.
Having said that, we don't judge whether if you look at the retirement number and you think, there's just no way, or I have no interest in that, then we come and say, well, then, maybe you want to do a Golden Girls retirement. Maybe you want to look at a different way of retiring. We just want you to have enough information that when you get there, we want you to have enough information to understand the choice you're making and make sure you're happy with that choice while it's still early enough for you to do something about it. The one thing about money is that it takes a long time to grow. So we see exponential growth through COVID, which is awful. With money, we get the same kind of growth. It kind of is this curve like this. But in order to hit that curve, you need a lot of time. So that's why it's important to start as early as possible so that you can so you don't have to put in as much of your money. You can it's called letting your money work for you. Mm-hmm. And what you're doing is you're letting it kind of ride up that curve. So if you start early enough, you're not contributing all the money for your retirement. So, and then again, if you don't want to contribute that money, you can figure out alternatives and you can manage your expectations between now and then. So you can kind of get used to some of those lifestyle choices that you might want to make later.
This is so awesome. I love this. I love this. I'm actually thinking okay, this Golden Girl retirement, which Golden Girl am I?
Right.
I identify with all of them in various ways, but if I had to choose, I don't know. I really like Rose. Yes. I like her innocence. I just love her outlook on life. So she's probably yeah, I want to be Rose.
Excellent. And so you shall be. I think one of the things that can be really intimidating and really unfortunate about the finance space is it tends to trivialize female spending. Mm-hmm. It tends to be male dominated. And so a man can wait longer before they need to look at retirement and still meet their retirement goal. And a woman can't, because we don't earn the same amount of money. We just top out earlier. And so I want to create a space where you can talk about things without feeling judged, without feeling intimidated, and still get the answers you need to make the decisions you need to make, and not have it be about right or wrong, just about having it be about personal preference and having enough information to understand what your preferences might be and what it means for you. So I hope that resonates. I hope that's interesting. Where do we try to make money a bit interesting? It can be dull, but I mean, it is the source of it's the source of all your options later in life. It's the source of your security, of your independence. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really important.
If you had one golden nugget to share with RMTs, what would it be?
I already said my golden nugget, but
again, you can say it again.
Yeah. Well, there are a couple. I think get comfortable enough that you can start right now. Everything, all the data, all the science, all the literature, everything is better the longer you're invested. So the longer you have, so start today. So whatever you need to do to make yourself comfortable with investing today, start today and make sure you're investing your money. It is impossible to save for retirement. And so I should probably say that again. It is impossible to save for retirement. Again, not the golden girl retirement, but if you're doing it the traditional way, right? It is impossible to get there through savings alone. So start investing, figure out what it is that makes you comfortable, do that, and then start. I think that's the main thing. I can give you a little like mental model about this. If you invest $100 at the age of 25, it can turn into $1,000 by 65 with a pretty regular rate of return. If you invest the same $100 at 45, where I am today, Joy, it'll turn into $300 by 65. So 1,300. So it still triples, which is great, right? It's still tripling, but I missed out on 10 times in my money, making it $1,000, and that's at a 6.1 rate of return, which is pretty. The stock market gives back more than that on average. So that's a pretty comfortable estimation, but time is so important. It's not evenly distributed. So start today. That's my nugget for you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kristine.
You're so welcome.
We're really looking forward to having your webinar. Do you want to share with us any of your social medias?
Sure. We're at Untangle Money across all socials, not yet on TikTok, actually, because that's a little intimidating. I am 45. And we have a blog. If you go to untangle.money, there's a blog there, and we talk about all this stuff. And we're actually starting a course soon. So you can do a 14-part series on the basics of personal finance. That starts on Thursday.
Incredible. Awesome.